house. Dr. Wright gon' tell you what it's all about every week. You can find him here, answering questions from far and near. Sit back, enjoy the show. If you're a teacher, admin, or parent, you're bound to know. If you're an advocate, student, or just someone who cares, the next voice you'll hear is that other man with the plan. Right on Education.
So we're here with Wright on Education here at Parkview High School. This is the second week of school, and you guys are smiling. You're happy to be back in school, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many of you just lied? Raise your hand if you lied. So we're in the second week of school, and so you guys have had at least 5 days to kind of get used to and adjusted to the new no sale, bail to bail policy. So I just want to kind of follow up and just see how things are going. So my first question is, what is my first question? I just forgot, but I just remembered. It's important that students understand the why behind why we're doing this. So I want to kind of throw out a test quiz question. Who can explain to me why we have this policy, this state law in the first place? Why was it passed? Go ahead.
I'm guessing it was passed to improve.
Remember to tell us your name.
Oh, sorry. My name is Levi Brown. I'm in the 9th grade. I'm guessing that it was passed so that we could focus more on schools and not have the distraction of our phones the
Okay.
whole time.
So one reason, probably one of the most important reasons, who else? How was it explained to you guys here at Parkview?
My name is Taylor, and I'm in the 9th grade, and I want to add on to what Levi said. And I think the reason why this phone law was passed for also is to improve on our test scores and our learning, and not like focusing on using like AI to help us with our work and having us to like improve our learning levels.
Okay. So I heard a lot of responses about academics. Any other reasons? I know there were some conversations around. Maybe you can help me out.
My name is Amber, and I'm in the 12th grade, and I think another reason for the bill-to-bill rule is to eliminate cyberbullying.
Yep, that's been a big thing our governor has been talking about, cyberbullying and the impact of social media. Although we know that you're going to have your phones when you leave here, so you still have access to social media, but the thought is while you're in school that you're not distracted by those things during the school day. I see a couple more hands, and then we're going to move on to the next question, so just go ahead.
So my name is Louise, and I'm in the 10th grade, and I think that not having our phones also helps us into like use our brains more, like kind of make us think more on what we're doing, and like not just using AI, basically adding to what they said.
Perfect, thank you. So now that you guys have been in class, you don't have access to your phones. Are you noticing your peers and yourself more engaged in the classroom?
Over the last 5 days, when you look over to a classmate, they're not like trying to hide their phone under like a laptop or like sleeve, unlike last year. So yeah, that's been a big surprise too, because it's kind of like funny almost. But yeah.
What about like student engagement, discussions? What have we seen? You don't have to raise your hand, just speak out.
My name is India Smith. I'm in the 11th grade, and something that me and a few of my classmates done after we finished our work, we'll probably like color or like
Color?
yes,
This
like
is high school.
we'll have a coloring book, and then or we'll complete a puzzle or something.
Okay.
I think the engagement for my classes, especially as a 9th grader, hasn't really changed because I noticed the same students that don't speak are still not speaking, at least the ones that I knew in middle school. But I do think that them getting rid of the phones has allowed us to go and do more, has allowed us to do different things. Like maybe instead of getting on your phone after you finish the work, you could study. Like she said, you could color, you could just read. Like it's changed what we've done, but it hasn't changed engagement, in my opinion.
Interesting. I think I never would have thought that high school students would be like coloring in coloring books. I didn't know that you guys still enjoy those things.
Entertaining somehow.
Everybody colors. It's fun.
Also, again, to add on what Levi said, I feel like this no phone rule has us like using our minds and like being creative and coming up with different ways to communicate and spend our time instead of like just being on our phone all the time.
Do you feel less distracted in the classrooms?
There's loud noises about like with my peers talking.
There's more talking going on.
More talking.
More talking.
Majority of my distractions weren't from the phone, it was from other classmates. So I'd say no, I don't have less distractions, but I feel like from like as like what she said, there's barely any distractions from the phone, but from my fellow classmates, yeah, I'd say it's a lot more because there's more people talking because a lot of people aren't just down on their phones typing the whole time.
Are they talking about things that are going on in the classroom, or just...
Not really.
No, I
These
mean,
aren't the
during
answers that I'm
work.
looking for you to say. Like,
I
change
mean,
your
during,
answers.
You want us to be for real?
Yes.
We are.
during class, like sometimes during class, I'm talking with my classmates about work, but when I'm being distracted, it's never, ever about work, like ever,
Interesting.
I'd say.
All right, moving on. Let's see. What do I want to ask? Now we know sometimes in school, one teacher may enforce a policy that another teacher may be a little bit more lax about. Sometimes, we aren't always as consistent as we should be. So what has been your experience? Has this policy been enforced consistently in pretty much all the classrooms you've been in, or do you see some differences?
No,
Yeah.
they've been very consistent, and one of my classes got searched because somebody got caught on their phone, and they found a lot of phones.
How many phones did they find?
9
Nine phones?
9 phones in my class, and they all got took up and put in pouches. They came back, but I don't know. They're taking it very seriously.
So how are some of the students, I'm going off script a little, I've heard some of these stories already, but how are students smuggling phones in school?
Well, at first it's more of like they don't have their phone with them, but then now like if someone is like tipped off, like the security is tipped off that someone has their phone, now everybody has to get searched if you have phones. So it's like the smuggling is like calmed down a lot.
How is it, tell me about your procedure. We were at another high school this morning, and a high school with 2,000 plus kids. And I had a chance to observe their processes in the morning where they came in, they were putting their phones in pouches, they had to go through the metal detectors and all that stuff. What is your experience like coming to school?
So-
how does it work here?
Yeah. My name is Pierce. I am in the 11th grade. For us, it's really like organized and how we do it. So we have 2 stations of where we can come in the mornings, and there are a couple security guards there or coaches who have come to help out who have the Yondr pouches, and you come in, they're like, hey, turn off your phone, put it in the pouch. Do you have any other Apple Watches, earplugs, Bluetooth devices? And then it's really simple and concrete and get in and get out.
I had an experience today where I didn't bring my phone because it's getting fixed right now. And actually what they did, I told them
Is that the truth, or are you just
No, like, I mean,
smuggling
it's-
phones?
No, I mean, it's like the whole left side won't work.
Uh-huh.
So my phone's at my grandma's house, and I just walked through there, and I'm like, hey, I don't have my phone. The security guard pulls me out of line. I walk through the metal detectors. Then he goes through my bag. He scans everything. And, well, I don't have my phone, so I get to walk through. But basically, that's the procedure. So if they catch you, they'll catch you in the morning with your phones if you bring it in there. Unless you do something else. I don't know how you do that, but they literally pulled me to the side, and they checked everything that I had. He emptied my bag. Well, he went through my backpack. He emptied my purse. And, yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
I would say that they do that because they catch a lot of kids with phones. So, like, if you say you don't have one, they're going to, like, make sure you don't have one.
Does that give you some level of like reassurance from a safety perspective that students' backpacks are being searched and you're no?
No.
I
mean, we
feel
have metal
at
detectors.
times it can feel like an invasion of privacy, but it also, I understand the intention behind it is to make us feel safer, and to make sure that laws are being abided by. But I also understand that, like, if you're searched randomly, it can feel invasive. And I feel like they have been overly on top of it. There are a couple students here who have 504 plans or IEPs that allow them to have devices. My second day here, they made me put my heart monitor in a Yondr pouch. And so I have been able to fix that, and we have been able to fix that, but that is something that I don't think has been really thought about. And so it is harder for us to make sure that everything is running accordingly. Like, I get this little device slip that allows me to wear my heart monitor now.
Gotcha. Well, I can imagine that there will be some growing pains, especially during the first week of school or so, even this week and probably the next week, so that we can iron out all of these issues and problems, so that it will feel less invasive, and that students who actually have to have devices for medical reasons, that we're able to have a process to where it doesn't feel as invasive with those students. One question? Maybe you want to answer this question. So another one of the reasons why this policy was implemented is that we want students to be able to socialize more and to connect with each other more, and maybe take some time to talk to people that you wouldn't necessarily talk to. So I was actually here on the first day of school, and I forgot what class I was in, but it was the class right before they dismissed the lunch, and a couple of students were saying to me, like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're going to lunch. We don't have our phones. And my response was, you get a chance to talk to each other. So have you seen more students being more social and talking to each other instead of being on phones?
Well,
Please tell me the answer I want to hear. Say yes. Say
Yeah.
Just say yes. Please say yes.
Well, last year when we had phones during lunch, people still socialized, but they were also like playing on their phones. So like there was like a split like amount of people that were just like by themselves on their phones, and then there were people that were like sometimes on their phones, but they were also like talking. So there was like a large amount of social interactions during lunch, but this year there has been more
Thank you.
more discussion during lunchtime.
Have you personally talked to someone that you typically wouldn't necessarily talk to?
I'm usually in my friend group, so
Okay.
mostly that. But I have branched out to other people.
Good. I encourage all of you all to branch out of your normal friend groups and take opportunities to meet other people. I saw a couple other hands.
I feel like the phones don't really apply to that because there are just some people out there that really can't socialize or just have a hard time speaking with people because social anxiety is a thing. And I feel like not having our phones doesn't really like have a big impact on that part.
See, I'm gonna continue going with that.
I don't want you to continue going with that. I want to continue going with what he said.
Well, okay. So the main thing is when you go to lunch, you know how there's people sometimes sitting by themselves because they don't like socializing sometimes, right? I feel more as in like bad for them because usually when they have their phone, they have something to entertain. Or maybe they have a friend outside of school and they're FaceTiming them while at lunch or something, you know? So they have somebody to talk to, but like now that you're in lunch, you're just kind of staring at the wall, eating by yourself. So it's just kind of like, and then at the same time, like not everybody has the same lunch, you know? Some of your friends might be first, some of them second. So it's just kind of like not really helpful.
I don't know that I want to hear from any more of you
I
all
got
because
something
you all
positive.
you have something positive. Yes,
But
let's go here.
to
Positive.
add on to what, just to say something positive, people look a lot more approachable when they're not on their phone or when they're just sitting down there. Because if you're on your phone, it's like, okay, they're already doing something. Let me not go up to them. But if they're not on their phone, they look a lot more approachable. But that's just something nice to say since that's what you want.
I want to agree with what she said because I feel like if we like don't have our phone, we like I don't know. A phone is a way to communicate, and I don't think having our phone at lunch is really like affecting us because like we're still socializing with our friends and stuff, and like some people are still socializing. Like maybe they want to text their mom during lunch and tell them how their day is going, or maybe they have an issue and they're not feeling so great. Because you know when you go to the office, it's only limited things they'll let you contact your parents for. So I think not having our phone at lunch is not. I don't think that we shouldn't have our phone at lunch. I think that's not affecting our learning because we're not really being productive for anything during lunch, and lunch is our free time. So I think we should have our phone. But that's about it on that.
I'm never coming back to Parkview to do another.
Do you want a positive
conversation.
thing?
I'm just kidding. No, I actually want to hear what you guys actually believe in thinking. So thank you for sharing. I know we're just about out of time, but if there's any more burning comments or something you just feel like you just have to get out, let's take the opportunity to do so.
I think the bell-to-bell no-cell policy has allowed for more creativity in communication. So, like, I have seen a lot of friends who have printed out pictures to bring to school to show, like, hey, look at this thing. Or using computers to take pictures, or writing more emails and I believe that us not having our cell phones has allowed us to think outside of the box and get our brains going.
Good. It's good to hear.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
Oh.
Sure, go ahead.
I want to know like how you guys are gonna handle our safety when there's like an actual like active shooter or a fire happening here. How do you think we're gonna like do the process?
That's a very good question. I don't know if you've in our first episode of the Wright on Education podcast, we actually addressed that question. So actually the researchers and safety experts talk about when people have cell phones during lockdowns or during an emergency, that it actually causes more harm than good, because sometimes people are texting wrong information. There's been cases where friends may have been texting other friends saying that it's safe to come out, and sometimes students come out and it's not safe to come out. There's been cases where everybody's on their phones calling parents, trying to alert them about what's happening. Parents are flooding the school, and it's actually compromising the emergency response team's ability to respond to incidents. And there's been cases where, with everybody using their phones and trying to communicate during emergencies, that it has actually like clogged up the communication lines. And so there's been many studies and reports that have talked about how if everyone is using cell phones during an emergency situation, that it actually negatively impacts the emergency response personnel's ability to respond. And so I know everyone, including myself, you feel a little bit more sense of safety when you have your device with you so that you can reach out to people. But we also have to understand during emergency situations, our trained emergency personnel are trained to respond to things in a certain way, and sometimes we can get in the midst of that by communicating wrong information or sending people to wrong locations. And so, but I get and understand how it feels not having your phones during emergency situations.
Okay.
Does that help a little?
Yeah, it does.
As long as it helps a little, that means we made some progress. I don't know that I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
Question. So what are you gonna, there are some students that use their devices to help them focus on things. Like, I need to listen to this to focus, I need to do this to focus. Are you guys going to allow those to be accessed on the Chromebooks? Like, if that helps a student focus? Because personally, I focus best with music. And I'm not talking about the one the teacher plays on the board, I'm talking about my music. Is there like a way, would you guys ever allow somebody to access the things that help them focus on the computers, on the Chromebooks and stuff?
I don't know. That's something that we can definitely think about. I think for students who have to have certain things in order to cope, if there is some type of medical or any type of doctor can substantiate that in some type of report or records, then we will make accommodations for those students. But just like generally speaking, I think it will probably take us this year to get through this first year of implementing this before we start looking at ways in which we could not necessarily let our guard down, because I believe all of you all have access to school-issued Chromebooks, right?
Yes, sir. Not yet.
Well, not yet, but you will.
Ninth graders don't.
But you will. And so there may be instances and allowances where you are able to use your Chromebooks to listen to music or do some other things. Those are things that I think your teachers and school staff can kind of figure out once we probably get through this first year of implementation.
Thank you.
No.
So something that I think that isn't really that beneficial not having your phone is time management. Like, you walk around the hallways and you're usually planning stuff. You're like, oh, I still have 5 minutes to use the restroom, or I still have 5 minutes to finish this whatever I'm eating at lunch, right? So I feel like it's just not that beneficial when it comes to time, because you're.
Watch.
I agree.
But you take our Apple Watches and everything.
Oh, I agree with you.
A lot of people
Just
can't
get a
read
regular
analog.
watch.
A lot of people can't read or set analog clocks.
Well, that's a problem. It's time to learn. Y'all do realize 20 years ago, or 30, however long it's been since I've been in school. I don't want to date myself, but we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all of these devices, and we were just fine.
Yes, but we've got accommodated to the new things that came in. That's why it's a lot harder for us to adjust to the other stuff. So it's just.
Because we're so used to this.
Yeah,
we're so used to
I also
You'll
agree
be
with what
fine.
you're saying.
But it's
fine.
just.
Because sometimes I lose
that's
track
so
of time when I'm trying to get to lunch or when I'm trying to get to classes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know where this class is. And then also in class, I don't see, there's not many clocks that we can read, at least in a lot of my classes. So we don't know how much time we have left in class to finish certain assignments.
But that's something we can work to address.
No, but some of the clocks be broken, so
Yeah.
it's just kind of
We
like
can
they
fix
don't,
that.
they don't
And
even
then
turn.
sometimes they're not on
Thank
the
you
right
for
setting.
joining this podcast. It has been such a wonderful, great time. I have enjoyed spending time with all of y'all. Seriously, I really have. Thank you for sharing your perspective, your ideas, and your responses. You won't die. You will be fine. You will be fine. interested to check back in with you guys in a couple of months to see how things are going. But it seems like you guys are adjusting quite well, aren't you? Just tell me yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful. Have a great day.
Have a good one.